Yo, what's up, brother? Yeah, we got the local recordings on. So I just started again. There you go. Yeah, it should be unmuted now.
How's that? How's the audio?
There we go. The audio sounds good. Yeah. Just a problem with the Facebook there, André, if you want to reconnect it there, your side. But yeah, morning, guys. Yeah.
I'll deal with it.
Yeah, everything's good. The local recording's on, so we're all good to go.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Brilliant. How's your week been so far, trading-wise?
I haven't been trading too much this week. We're actually redoing the entire edgeful page, like the outer page. Like when you go to edgeful.com and you're not like in the app.
Sure.
We redid every single page, all of the text, all of the animations, like all the graphics that we have. Like completely changed that outer experience. So it's obviously a lot better now because right now it's not great. So that has taken much longer than I would like to admit, but it is what it is.
Perfect.
So hopefully that should be out today. Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I like the longs a little bit today, bro. I like the longs back up to previous days' highs personally. But the only thing is we have been making bearish market structure all week. So that's the only thing that I don't like. But other than that, I really do like the longs back up to 780.
There was news today.
There was. There's also news at 10 a.m. Eastern time as well. We have job openings, JOLTS job openings. Yeah. Yeah, the Facebook's working. Perfect.
Oh, I didn't even reconnect it, to be honest.
Oh, must have just worked then. Interesting. Jeez, dude. But yeah, all good. We all good. Yeah. Perfect. So I had my pre-market prep this morning. I did say, as I said, I think we'll wait and see what happens with news, but I like something like that, André. I don't know. What are your thoughts? I know you like to sell, but
no, I'm okay with buying too, but I'm just looking right now. This week's going to be, if price doesn't push higher, and I'll pull up my screen one sec.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I did start it and then realized the flipping local recordings weren't on, so we started again. Yeah, but you guys are all good in there, so all good.
This question here that if I am a graphic designer, no, I'm not a graphic designer. I love using Figma. I think that Figma is absolutely awesome. I don't know. I mean, I know how to use Photoshop a little bit, but I'm not very good with Photoshop. I don't know how to use Illustrator at all. But I know what I like and I know what I don't like. So that's an important piece. We do have like a design team, but I'm very clear on what I like and what I don't like. So it really helps me with making design choices. So yeah, there's that. But let me pull up my screen quickly.
Yeah, so for those reusable pseudos, André, you just have to click use.
We can talk about it after. It's not a big deal. So overall, the week has been pretty bearish. The only bullish, what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to put, by the way, guys, if you are an edgeful user, you have access to this market sessions indicator. And in this, if you double click on it, you can open up the settings, or you go to the settings up here. You click on this open to close line. And what it'll do is plot the open to the close with a diagonal line. So the only green day this week has been Monday, and every other day has been bearish. So if you look at the week, we're still technically green on the week, but that's only because Monday had an absolutely ridiculous move, which was driven by a catalyst. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday have been bearish. So just something to consider that we do have a little bit of like, we're in the middle of a range pretty much. If you look at the entire week's range, we're like pretty much dead center on that range. I am not expecting a new high or low of the week to be made. I mean, maybe a low of the week, but I still don't love that.
We actually haven't taken out that opening week range yet.
I think super rare.
We just tapped into it last night, Asia session, London session.
Yeah, I think it's because that New York session on Monday was 750 points, so that kind of throws things around.
Sure.
So there's that. The Dare Maximus, I'd love to see some of your work. If you want to DM me on Twitter, send me some of your work. I'm curious. But
yeah, we're also trading underneath previous week's lows as well, André, which again, you can get the indicators as well. But we are trading literally on ES slap bang at that. NQ.
Pete, we do have Top Step X as you can connect Top Step X through the edgeful automation, just so you know. There is a previous week's range indicator. James, you usually pull it up. I do see a question.
Yeah, so you can see previous week's range indicator. So that plots the previous week's highs. So on NQ, we're actually trading inside that previous week's range. There's the highs and the lows are down here. Whereas on
really important, very, very important. I'm going to pull up my screen quick. One sec.
Open in 2 minutes.
Yep, open in 2 minutes. Where is it? Okay, so we have two indicators here. Previous week's range by session. This is extremely important that you understand the difference between the two, and we are building a page that will plot this for you, that will explain. We're going to build a page that has a description of all the indicators, kind of how they work, whatever else. Whenever you see an indicator that has a by session version, that means that the previous week's range, the regular one, is for stop. And I know it's not the best criteria right now, but the previous week's range is going to measure always the daily high and low, which is going to be right over here. So you can see this is the previous week's range. I'm actually going to go to a 30-minute here, so it's a little bit cleaner. You can see that the high taken from last week is outside of the New York session. So I hope that's clear. Right over here, you can see last week's high that's being plotted into this week is not in the New York session. If you want to only consider the New York session data, which is what the report measures, unless you use the daily time frame, which I'm going to pull up right here. Okay. Let's take a step back for a second. This indicator, previous week's range, looks at the daily time frame. You do not have a session selector in the settings. So it's going to take the highest and the lowest point of last week. That's it. If you want to know how often the data changes or whatever the data is for this, you would look at the daily session. Now, if you want to look at the New York session, which I think most of you do want to look at, right over here, you would switch over to New York. And I know that this is not a fantastic process, but you would use the previous week's range by session. The by session version includes the sessions. So I'm going to hide the Tokyo and London, the Asian and London session. And you can see I have my blue boxes plotted here, but you can also see that it's not taking this high. It's only taking the highs made in the New York session. So it will accurately plot, and we got the open here. It will accurately plot the previous week's high and low. So you can see here, when I use the by session version, it only takes the session high and low. And then when I use the regular one, it will take the daily high and low. So if you just look at the difference here quick, you can see that they're not the same, which is correct. So I just wanted to point that out. Now going back, I'm going to go to a 5-minute here. Turn on my ultimate reversal setup. Oh, it's taking a minute.
We got a question here as well, Andre. I think this will be different for everyone, but can you make a video about recent performances on the algos? That will be, performance will be different for everyone, obviously. But
performance will be different for everyone.
Yeah.
What you can do is,
why I'm picking up some strength, yeah.
okay. Wow, looking at this landing page, considering the one that we just redesigned, this looks absolutely terrible. So if you guys want some information about the algos, and you go to edgeful.com, just regular edgeful.com. If you have an account, just sign out so you can get to this page. You're going to hover over the free resources section, and you're going to go down here, the free IB algo course. If you want to understand more about the algos, put your email in right here, and we will send you a breakdown of the IB algo, of the performance for 2025 on GC. So if you are interested, do that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this here. I'm sending that in the chat on all the platforms, so you guys can go and look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be in all the, yeah, it should be. Well, maybe not Twitter, it seems, but.
Yeah, it's gone to all others, all good.
Yeah, so there's that.
Tech issues. Jeez.
Oh,
why it doesn't go to Twitter. Interesting. But yeah, we do have news at 10 a.m., guys. So we got that Schultz job openings at 10. I normally wait for the first 15 minutes to let the opening range set and then go from there. Yesterday was some super choppy price action after the session. Zinc was right. So Zinc and I were live yesterday, and there was just some super choppy price action. But I think, again, something that's been helping me, Andre, again, if I go to my screen here, was even if I was looking to take anything later on in the session, just following that short, we actually closed on the lows yesterday because the edgeful screener was like pretty bearish yesterday, if you guys had a look there. But so basically what that edgeful screener is, as you can see, it's actually setting up right now. I normally only use it after the first 30 minutes to an hour normally from there. But basically this gives me a data back bias into what direction I would like to trade the market for that day. And I spoke about this on previous streams where when I fought the bias for the one day, I ended up taking loss, and all the other days, easy, simple winners, right? For majority of the time. But as you can see, you can customize this. I'm personally using the opening candle continuation, the RB, and the previous day's range. You can also customize this in here. So I've got the first hour, but you can change it to the first 30 minutes if you would like to as well. So yeah, that's what I've got my settings on at the moment, and that gives me a data back bias that's pretty simple and easy to use. So
yeah.
NASDAQ, I don't like the longs where we're sitting at right now. I'd like a pullback and then maybe get long like that, or like 570, 580.
And you're looking at the daily view up, right?
This is the daily view app, yeah. Yeah. The only thing that concerns me is if you look at the VWAP suite, as I said, we've mentioned it, we are bearish on the week. Like NASDAQ's 120 points below the weekly VWAP. And ES is actually also below that weekly VWAP, and you can see that in the top right over here.
Yeah.
And YM as well. So YM is actually picking up a lot of, it's actually a new half day right now for even including extended market hours.
Wow. Dude,
yeah.
YM's always doing some crazy stuff.
Dude, I know. I've actually been enjoying. You saw me. I took 2 trades on it on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know.
You guys can go rewatch those streams as well.
Yeah.
I had those nice long on Monday. I know you took the short.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I actually like when there is more volatility. What I don't like is this. Like if you look at what this is, I mean, if you exclude this one wick on a 5-minute chart, pretty much, or actually even if you included the wick, like the thing is, if you look at this range, the overall daily price action sat in an overlap, like, and you look how concentrated this price action is. These are the days that I don't do well. A day like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I mean, this even is not great, but when there's a lot of like overlapping consolidation, I don't tend to do too well. Like on these days, I do a lot better.
I think that's for most people struggle to trade ranges. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even this, like the majority of the price action on the entire day was in a 150 point range on NQ. Like that's not great. Yeah, we are getting a little bit of a move down here. So if we go to the what's in play, what I'm going to be paying attention to is right now the ICT opening retracement is very, very close to being touched. That's this yellow line here. By size, 86% of all of the days in the last 6 months have reversed to the midnight opening price on ES. So you can see that's 18 out of 21 days. So very important to pay attention to this yellow line. It already happened on NQ. That's why it's not in here anymore, because it's in the completed section now. But the gap fill by weekday also, gap fill by weekday, 16 gaps up on a Friday, 12 of them have filled. So that target would be this blue line here. Now, you definitely want to have more confirmation because this is actually, it's not that crazy of a gap. Yeah, it's not that crazy of a gap, 0.45%. You just need to have a little bit more confirmation here. Yeah, it's actually not insane, to be honest, to take that gap fill trade. But actually, look at that. This is why the what's in play is going to help you out, because the gap fill by size on ES and NQ. So I just went off of what I thought the stats were. I was like, oh, it's actually not that big, the gap. When in reality, if you look at the current gap size, you're actually looking at terrible stats.
Sure.
So this is why it's not in the in-play section right now, but this target is actually not great based on this gap size today. So keep that in mind, because I was going based off of memory, which obviously you should never do. And I was completely wrong. So that's why you want to be looking at this. I don't usually look at what's filtered out. I try to just only focus on what's in here. But
yeah. So because of that, you want to be long bias, because the gap up on ES
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that would go with my bias that I was looking at pre-market as well. Yeah.
Yeah. The long bias here, and then also inside bars targeting that previous day's high, would not be a terrible. I mean, on ES we're close. Like we're 13 points away. I am pretty surprised. I'm not going to lie about that. It didn't at least retrace to the midnight open, but yeah.
I was also looking at pre-market as well, André. Most of the Mag 7 stocks were trading green pre-market, except Meta. Meta's down 2.5%. Almost 3 now. Long oil. Jeez, I don't. Do you trade oil? I don't.
Never.
Yeah. Bitcoin's above 73K.
Thank God, man. Still down 50K, but from the all-time highs, but we'll take it.
So my plan here, just while we're sitting here, normally I wait for the first 15 minutes to set, and then I look to take trades from there with breaks of the orb and using view app, and obviously the edgeful data is Confluence. But we do have news at 10, so I'm going to be wary of that. I don't want to be holding a trade into news, right?
Yeah.
Why don't you trade directly from TradingView? I'm very new with Tradeify. I mean, you can. I personally don't. I like to trade on my own on the platform that the broker gives me, but you can trade on TradingView if you want. Why don't you trade on TradingView, Andre? You just prefer TradingView?
The TradingView candles are much slower than TradeAway.
I just prefer having like my chart and then having an execution.
TradingView has the best charting. It's not even. I mean, did you know that they have 60 million monthly active users?
Wow, that's crazy, dude.
60 million monthly active users, dude.
That's wild.
That's insane.
Yeah, they are the best charting platform, 100%.
It's not even close.
Yes, now pushing as well for new highs. As I said, like my long bias would be up to 770 on ES. We're sitting at 723 right now. Yeah, but the latency when placed. Yeah, I just use my own platform to place trades.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely expecting a break of previous day's high here because of the inside bar stat. We just need a little bit of a something to get an entry here.
Andre, the Watson play is a little confusing for me, kind of. The only disadvantage is I can't be aftermarket because it turns off and actually can't be studied later. Can you help me explain work in progress?
So we're actually building a post-market state of how it should look. The difficult piece of it right now is that we have the pre-market state. The issue is that people want the percentages in pre-market.
And they're still both forming.
Yeah, like everything is still forming. So we're not going to like display a percentage and then you're like, okay, this is 85%. And then something happens before the market open. And then now it's 60%. You're like, well, it said 80% before, and now it says 60, and now people are going to be confused. So we can't display the percentages pre-market. And ES is really getting this move higher now. And we're going to get that inside bars. I was really hoping that we would get a little bit of a pullback before we get there. I don't really know what's driving this right now, to be honest. But
Nvidia's up. Nvidia is picking up some momentum.
It's in the middle of the range so far, but so I'm going to answer your question, air attackers, in just 1 second. But there's that previous day's high, so that's the inside bars right over here. This is going to go away now. 89% of all the days that every time Friday opened within Thursday's range, 17 out of 19 times it has broken out. 89% of the time, it just did it again today. But so the what's in play, you want to be considering this to be your A+ setups, like your A+ reports filtered for you automatically using live data. So today you can see obviously at the top, and this is going to go away in just a second here, but you can see at the top you have 89%, 88%, 87%, whatever, and it keeps going down. You can put whatever you can filter it for as much as you want, but you do have a template here that as soon as you go in, you can have exactly what I'm looking at. Now, if you change the data filter, you can have as much as you want. Now, obviously, I think that you should not have the lower probability reports, but you can see that I was saying that you should actually not target this blue line because of these stats here. Gap fill by weekday, gap fill by size, gap fill by size, very bad percentages. This is a coin flip on whether it's going to get there. how would you have known that if you're going to memorize the stats the way that I actually did? You would have been hurt, because I was like, oh yeah, this is a small gap, it's probably going to fill. But in reality, in the current market environment, it does not fill. And now you can see very obviously that the long bias is the correct bias, because this is saying you don't want to, you don't actually, there's only a 53% of the time in the last 6 months these filled. So that's obviously not great. Wow, we are really getting a push here.
Yeah, jeez.
So we're building a post-market state. Just we're trying to work through how it's going to display and what's going to be displayed.
Sure. Hi James, want to know why you prefer FTMO? My current, because I've been around for many years and I've never had any issues. It's as simple as that. They got clear, simple rules, so that's why I like them. We'll be buying. Are there any strategies that you recommend to start with? I mean, in terms of reports to look at, I think use the opening candle continuation. That's a pretty simple one to start with, right?
So when you open up, whenever you join edgeful and you open your platform, on the right side, you're going to get all the most popular reports automatically loaded for you over here. So you can start, I would recommend starting there and then just go through and click whichever the ones are, scroll down and just watch the video. Every single report has an explainer video, tells you exactly what the report measures, how to use it with chart examples every single time. So go to the video and just watch it from there. Now, the other thing is everyone has a get started page. So on the top left over here, you're going to have the get started. I highly recommend watching these videos here. Specifically, this one is the ultimate reversal setup. It combines 3 reports to show you how to take a data back to trade. It did not set up today because price opened within the previous day's range, but there's that. So that's it's always the good place to start is the get started page.
I would also say, you don't want to look at like 6 or 7 different reports. Choose like 2 to 3. Choose 2 to 3 max. The ones that I like to use is the opening candle continuation, the previous day's range report, and I do the RB and the opening week range. But the opening week range you can only use, obviously, for obvious reasons. It shows the Monday and Tuesday's high and low. You can only use it from Wednesday onwards. So I really like the previous day's range and the opening candle continuation. Couple that with my opening range and VWAP, I've got a simple strategy that I like to use. Yeah, you don't want to be looking at 10 different reports because you're obviously going to get conflicting views across those. Some guys that I know in my group that love to use edgeful, some of them only use gap fill with price action.
And the thing is, the data changes. The markets shift a lot quicker than people actually think, and the data changes quicker than people think too, which is a good and a bad thing. Because of course, if you want the gap fill to work for a long time, then that would be great. But it's unfortunately not the truth. It's not how it works, and we don't control the markets. So we're just telling you what's actually happening. So there's no real way for you to quantify what happens in the market by just being like, recently it's been doing this and recently it's been doing that. If the market was 24/7, you guys would be famous. You cannot go based off of how you think. It happened to me this morning. I was like, oh yeah, the gap size is pretty small, right? 0.45% last year at this time. That was a no-brainer trade. Then I go to my what's in play and I'm wondering, why is the gap fill not showing up here? Because I have my data filter. I'm like, why is the gap fill not showing up in my in play? And I'm like, let's go to my filtered out piece. Oh, it's actually at the bottom of my what's in play here because the percentages are so bad for the gap fill right now that it's not even worth looking at, right? And then what happened? Price went on ES 30 points to the upside. On NQ, it went 160 points to the upside. Now, price could still reverse and fill the gap, but there's a lower chance that it happens. So as the markets shift, the only way that you're going to have your finger on the pulse of the market is by using something like this, by using a tool like Edgeful. You don't have to memorize all the reports and the results of the reports and how it works by weekday and all the other stuff. Like you can see, you can look, I'll just filter through all the weekdays right now. You can see gaps up on Mondays on NQ are actually horrific. And as you go through it, the data like drastically changes by weekday. You should not be memorizing what the performance of each weekday is. That's exactly what the what's in play is for. The what's in play is the tool that you use every day for your 8+ setups. What you should be focusing on and what you should not be focusing on is all going to be in here, dynamically updating based on the live price action and what's actually happening in the market. So if you guys go into your trading day, like I'm not really sure what I should be looking at, open this. It's right here on your sidebar, what's in play with the little fire icon right over here. This is where you want to be every day.
Wow, VWAP. I just love it. It's objective. It shows me trend really easy, above or below. So that's why I like VWAP. And then what's the opening candle continuation? So basically what the opening candle continuation
I'm going to get a coffee while you explain that.
Yeah. The opening candle basically explains if the first hour is bullish from 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern time, how often do we close as a bullish closing day and vice versa for the short. So we can actually see on the NASDAQ in the last month, if the first hour has been bullish, 83% of the time will close as a bullish closing day. So above that New York open price. And vice versa for the shorts, that actually hasn't been great in the last month. 62% of the time, if the first hour is bearish, will close as a bearish closing day. So we can even, that's why it does change. If you look in the last 3 months, that will also change. That will be 79 and 89. See how André was saying how these stats change? There's a great example for it on that opening candle continuation on NQ. The last month hasn't been great for the shorts to the downside, okay, for the first hour. But in the last 3 months, it has been. Does that make sense for you guys, for those that are asking for that? But yeah, NQ coming back down now. Same as YM off of those highs. So we still have, we've got the opening range set. So opening range high is up here on NQ at 772. So I like something like this where I can look to take a long on NQ ideally for me right now. YM is actually getting quite a hard pullback here. Yes, pulling back as well. So we've got the opening range that's set in. I'm crazy about this. Let me see what down there. Spruce up, close. Yes, there's one on. Yeah. Yeah, so we still are bearish on the week, obviously, but I do like the longs here intraday. But we'll see what we do get into the session. We do have news on the next 7 minutes. So it's like whether the RB closes above or below. RB does consider whether the first hour is bullish or bearish.
For the opening candle continuation, I'll show you guys quick. So
yeah, it got the indicator on as well. I personally don't use the indicator because I just use the screener. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. So the way that it works, I'll try to find like a really clean example. And the examples are not always going to be clean like this, but the idea and the easiest way to see it is in the screener or in the what's in play or whatever it is, wherever you want to look at it, even if you go to the reports and you go to the opening candle continuation. And obviously, the video is going to do the best job explaining this. I'm going to explain it right now, but the video is going to do the best job. What this report measures, you can see right over here, I have a green box that's plotted. This goes from the open, the 9:30 open, to the 10:30 price. So if the opening candle is green, that is not the first candle of the session, but it's from 9:30 to 10:30. That's what we call it. The reason we don't call it the first hour or whatever else is because the time period is customizable. So you can do 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour. You can do whatever you want. So you can change the length of what you want to consider to be the opening candle. So in this case, from 9:30 to 10:30, if 10:30 is above, That's a green opening candle. You can see that plotted by the color and the box here. If 1030 is below, that would be a red opening candle. So on this day, obviously, there was a green opening candle. The 1030 price was higher than 930. Then what the report measures is how often does the session close green or red based on this first hour. So what you can see is in the last 6 months, when the first hour is green, like it was on this day, 79% of the time, this session, this specific New York session, has closed green. If the first hour is red, 76% of the time, this session has closed red. So here's an example of it not playing out right over here. This actually was, what happened on this day was absurdly rare. This was, I know Zinc took a loss on this day. I actually tweeted using edgeful AI. I figured out that what happened here, only 9% of days is there a red opening candle, the IB high forms first, and then price breaks the high and ends the green. So super rare what happened here. But an example, here's another example of a green opening candle and a green day. I'm trying to find a red opening candle and a red day.
The red one I was actually showing as well, André, like you were saying that change. Yeah, in the last month, it's been in the 60%, but normally it's always above 70. But there was a great example of them changing.
Yeah, so you don't want, this is again, nobody, it's actually insane to be honest. Nobody believes me. They think that I say this because I want them to stay subscribed. Like it's actually hurting you more to think that it is still whatever, 80% or whatever else when it's not, because it's costing you more money in losses. People don't believe me on how much I can change. They're like, well, if I go to a 5-year period, this is what people love to do. They're going to do this. They go to 5 years.
Yeah.
No, it's actually like the logic is so backwards when you do this. Just give it a second to load, but you go to 5 years. So NQ 5 years, screenshot. Okay, cool. I'm gonna cancel now. The issue with doing this is over that 5-year period, it does
markets different cycles. Yeah.
Right? It goes higher and it goes lower and it goes higher and it goes lower, whatever it is, right? So it'll go from, let's call it whatever, 85% at the highs, and then it'll go down to 40%, right? So over the 5-year period, throughout that 5-year period, the percentages on the 6 month rolling basis are going to be really high and really low. And if you screenshot this, what you get, you don't get how it changes. What you do get is this number here. You get the blue line. And the blue line hurts you more than it actually costs you more money to assume that the data is still in this area here, this blue line, than if it's down here or if it's up here. This is one thing that people don't understand. You can see there's a comment here, not gonna lie, that was me a few months ago. I promise you, it'll cost you more than the $49 in losses or in blown accounts, assuming that this is still a certain percentage when it's not. Because what happened 5 years ago does not matter now, and the average of what happened over the last 5 years definitely doesn't matter, because what you need to be looking at is the 6 month or 3 month or 1 month data.
Sometimes even 1 month, yeah.
Yeah, to understand what's happening right now. Because if you're going to go through and you're going to assume, I'll switch back to the actual charts here so you can see it. If you're going to assume now that the market hasn't changed since there's been some global macroeconomic geopolitical conflict, you're insane. You're just not, you're in denial. Like that happened a few weeks ago, the whole thing overseas. That has changed how the market works. Let's just quickly go to CL, and I will go to a daily time frame. Like you're going to tell me this is not going to impact the market? You're going to tell me that this is not a catalyst for something, for a change in the indices? No way. We'll go to the VIX. The VIX is usually between 16 and 20. The other day, 4 days ago, it was at 35. You're going to be looking at data from 5 years ago to tell you that right now, the VIX is at 35 or is above 30, is at 25 right now. It's just not, it's not going to work. That's it. Like, I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's not going to work. Like, for investing, it's different. But for trading, you're going in and out intraday. To use data from 5 years ago is an absolute mistake. Now, that's my opinion. You guys can do whatever you want. Everyone has different thoughts on this. I think it is a massive mistake to go back that far. To be honest, we used to get so many questions about, well, I want to look at it over 20 years or 10 years. Like, the data from 2005 has zero value to trading today. Zero. There is just no value in it. Like, if anyone wants to debate me on that, I'm more than happy to. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, in my opinion, it has no value.
James, would you rather wait for a pullback to happen, retracement of 50%, for example, or you're able to jump in immediately when you see the stats are aligned to your bias? Yeah, so that's why I use VWAP in the opening range and with the data. I don't just like, after the first hour it's bullish, buy and close my eyes. No, I'm waiting for price action. Then I got a data back bias I'd like to trade in towards, and then I'll wait for entries. Dude, this guy's comments are killing me. Where's it here? Look at this. Where is it here? In bear markets, it usually drops in the first hour. Like,
the permabulls don't understand also, dude. Permabulls, I'm okay with. I think being permabull is better than being permabear, but it's, yeah. I mean, permabull and permabear is in either direction is not great. But what was the news? Oh, yeah. I had someone tell me that data from 5 years still applies in today's markets. I was like, bro, huh? Yeah, I've been saying this for like 2 years. Since the company was launched, I had so many people like, oh, yeah, you need to go 20 years back. And I was like, huh? What are you talking about? Like, yeah, if you're Warren Buffett and you want to hold for the next 30 years, maybe. But like, otherwise, it's a completely different planet. But I don't know. People don't believe me for some reason. I'm like, I don't know why. We are getting a pretty strong move down now. And oddly, ES is much weaker in relative structure for the New York session than NQ right now, which is weird. Wow, NVDA absolutely falling off a cliff.
Yeah, we're coming down off Meta. Got a few Mag 7 stocks now that are red from that. I think my algo took the long, but it doesn't look great here on NASDAQ.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
I think this is actually a pretty good. If we can get a pop back up to the midpoint of the orb, I just put the VWAP suite on just to see it because you were talking about it. But midpoint of the orb and VWAP are pretty aligned right now. I'm not going to like try to, I don't use VWAP in my trading, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. But a push back up to this area here, I would be interested in some shorts depending on how it reacts. But we'll have to see.
James, what check marks are you looking to have unfold for a solid setup today? What condition would you pull the trigger? Well, I first wanted to break the opening range, right? Yes, it's still inside the opening range. We have had a wick on it on the 1 minute, but I like to NQ's broken the top side. So I would like it to get back above VWAP at least. But right now we are coming off of those highs and NVIDIA that are rolling over. So we'll see what unfolds. We'd like to get either one side of the opening range. NVIDIA is now underneath opening range lows. I still like the longs. What are your thoughts, Andre?
I don't know, dude. Kind of like the shorts on ES here.
On ES, yeah.
Yeah.
So look. Yeah. Yeah, so we're underneath the New York session VWAP and middle of the range on ES. Someone was asking about trials for algos and that. Edgeful don't do trials, right? No
0.
trials.
No trials. Yeah. Also, I'm going to answer another question here quickly. If I'm a member of Edgeful, do I have to wait the entire hour to determine what formed first, the high or low? I'm having an issue with formed first. So we have an indicator that will plot it for you on your charts. So if you have the IB over here, I will put the IB indicator on. You can see just give me a second. Right over here, you can see the state of the IB is still forming, so it'll form into the next 24 minutes, but it will tell you the high or low formed first. Now, it only happens after it's formed, but you can also go to the screener, and it will tell you, if you use the daily bias template, which you do have in your screener, the IB by rejection is, it will plot it here. Now, the way to tell, if you go to the IB by rejection report, which is the high and low formed first piece, it will tell you how to understand, like pretty much the full detail, the full explanation of the video of how the IB by rejection report is right over here. So you can look at it there. But James, are you still interested in?
No, I'm not interested in longs right now. No, not at the minute. We're coming down. ES is underneath the VWAP. And we are actually also coming off of that weekly VWAP as well. So yeah, at the moment, no, bro. I don't.
Yeah, I think that my opportunity to take that short was when it popped up before. Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate.
I think we could be seeing opening range low on the NASDAQ, brother.
Yeah.
Personally. Which will be down at 610.
I kind of want to take the shorts here, but the issue is that the NASDAQ is so much stronger.
Yeah, YM is actually taking out the opening range low at the moment to the downside after ripping higher. So
the issue is ES here. The move is like pretty much done. So Meta is kind of pushing here, but everything else is pretty weak. I think I want to try the shorts. This would be definitely higher risk, but trying the shorts on NQ. I'm saying higher risk because NQ is stronger, but ES, like the move is kind of done already. The issue is that if ES bounces, NQ is going to bounce hard and probably just like take out my stop. But what do you think, James?
I think we could be seeing lower, bro. Just what I'm seeing now with the price action. I don't hate it. YM's trading underneath opening range low. We've actually just had a 5-minute closure below opening range low. That doesn't look too great. And NVDA and TSLA are rolling back down.
I would love to see a pretty aggressive spike to 720 and then an immediate flush.
Here comes YM lower, breaking 900.
Wow, that sucks. ES just broke low of day, and I was saying that this was the trade that I liked. I did not. That's unfortunate. But
see why I like using all three at the moment. So, you know, we're breaking low on YM and then NQ, and that is rolling over too. I mean, you could probably try along in there. I personally don't like it.
No, I'm not interested in the longs.
Yeah.
Personally.
No, I actually, that's why I like trading with different, like with you and Zinc and that, because you guys give different perspectives as well, you know.
If we can get a pop, a really aggressive pop to 720 that does not hold, I will look for a short. But I think that I wouldn't be surprised if we get back to 700 even. And in that case, I feel like a lot of people are going to get like torched here. So if we give it a little bit more breathing room, I would love to enter here at 720, but I just don't know if we're going to get there because it's pretty far away.
Yeah. Yeah, YM is now trading underneath 46,900, which was opening range low as well. Tesla. Look at Tesla, bro. Rolling. Look at Tesla.
Yep.
Up and then straight back down. I think what I'm going to do is probably just wait a little bit and see what unfolds. We got a little bit of back and forth price action here.
This would be
like, I could see, yeah.
This would be great. But the thing is, like, realistically, I don't like 100-point moves on.
I do.
Yeah, like I would just rather go for a 50-point move and then use double the size.
Yeah.
Because a 50-point move is a lot more likely to happen in like from my entry to the point. Like that's kind of the logic that I like to use. I mean, is it like the best? Probably not. Because I know that. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go.
I know, like, a lot of people are like, yeah, you need to let your winners run. Let your winners run. Like, if you have a winner, just let it run. And like the whole book, The Best Loser Wins, is about that. But okay, you let your winners run. But how often do you get a 200-point move? How often is there even a 200-point move in the same direction on any given day that you could hold for? Those days don't come around that often. And for me, like, I don't like to wait for those days. Like, I'm not interested in waiting for those days, because if they don't come, if there's 1, 2, 3 weeks where they don't come around, like, you're getting torched day after day. Stop out at break even, stop out for a small loss. Like, I'm not interested in that.
Sure. Yeah, I agree with that. Like, so I'll take like 100, I'll take like 50, 60 points on, I think on NASDAQ on Monday, I had a couple of like 40-point trades, 50-point, could have even been more because the range was quite big on Monday. Could have been 70 points, but I'll have like 100-point stop, but target like 70 points, because I'm not, if I'm going 70 points negative, I'm cutting it probably at 70 points too. But I agree with you on that. I just do like the wider stops. You like the tighter stops. And it's great. It's so cool to see different ways of trading. That's what you guys should learn from. But Mark saying, check the opening candle customization for 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. candle. Check the stats. Looks too good to be true. All the stats here are coming directly from the CME. So that is the stats. But
there's no...
make sure that when you, this is something we need to make sure that you guys know. When you do a customizable session, make sure that you have, for example, if I want to customize test Mark's one out. So from 9 a.m., let's just call it 9 a.m. start, whatever it is. You have to make sure that the end time is correct too. Okay, you can't do it from like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Then it's not going to give you. That's only for the. I want to do it for the rest of the day. So let's go to 4 p.m. and let's just save that.
Dude, like, I'm itching to take this short right now.
So we can look there. Let's have a look at the opening candle continuation for that, just to check your stuff there, Mike. Okay, so Enki in the last 3 months. 81% if it closes bullish in the first hour, 72% if it closes bearish. If that from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay.
And you guys can check James, if you just scroll down.
Yeah.
There every single day is right there. So you can go through, check it, whatever you want. Every single day is right there. You can filter the table, you can sort the table.
You can confirm that with your indicator on the charts as well to double check that too. Yeah. But then you'll have to change the settings on your indicator too, just a heads up.
Yes, if you're going to change the time frame, you need to change it on the indicators too. It's not going to change the indicator.
Correct.
As well.
So I just use that New York session 9:30 to 10:30, and then that's the stats in the last 3 months. But look at this. This is what we're saying. Look here, Andre. If you change, look at 89% for the shorts. If it changed the last 1 month, 62.
I'm really hoping we get a higher push right now.
Let's have a look there. Just give me a second.
Give me a touch to 700, please. Oh my God. Oh. The thing is, these 1 minute candles are 30 points. Like, it's not ideal. I just want a move. I want this. I want this. I don't think we're going to get that, though, unfortunately. God.
You'll be flashing.
Dude.
Yes, just hit, took out opening range low.
Oh my God, dude. I can't stand these days. Oh God. Took SPY call, credit spread. Good move. I think air attackers, it's probably a good trade. Let me look at the strikes here 1 sec. The strikes are actually pretty close. Interesting strike selection. I would have picked a little bit higher, to be honest. Personally, I think that this is probably a little bit too close to where price is now. Yeah, I mean, your premium is probably really solid, but I probably would have done something closer to this. That's like what I would have done. And ideally, in a case where you get one of these, as price pulls back up into the orb, the call spreads the premiums will be worth a lot more. And then that is when you take the entry to sell the call spreads above high of day, which is probably very unlikely. So that's the way that I would have done it. I don't like to take, if price keeps flushing, you would have captured a really nice premium and it just keeps going down. But if price bounces, those premiums are going to be worth a lot more and you'll be in deeper drawdown a lot faster. So that's just my logic. There's no right way to do it, but yeah.
Someone, James, are you still looking for longs? So we actually did reach the daily VWAP right now. I would not be surprised to see it find a little bit of a bottom here. And make its way higher. I don't know, but I still do like the longs. Yeah.
Dude, I want this candle to keep pushing into keep going. Keep going to 700 and give me a hard rejection, and I will happily smash the shorts right now.
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, I don't hate them. I just we'll have to see what we do get. Yeah.
Give me a move higher. Please give me a move higher.
Yeah, YM is still. See, we are still at back at daily view up. Even YM is sitting at the moment. ES as well. Remember that double break? We used to play that like double break, bro. Once it broke one
Dude,
side.
you want to see that stat? It's crazy.
Yeah, let's see that. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it in a while, honestly.
It's crazy what it was back then. Dude, Q1 of 2024.
Sorry, let's get your screen
what was it again? It was the I forget what it was. Was it of 25? I don't remember what it was, but it was pretty much the double break was like almost at 80%. It was at around 80% on. Oh, I think it was ES. Was it ES?
I remember that thing used to crush, bro, that double break.
Dude, it was crazy.
So we have two different bias on stream, right? Yeah, 100%. They can be.
Yeah.
We don't trade the exact same way, right?
Dude, look at this. Q1 2024 ES double break of the orb was over 80%. 51 out of 63 days in Q1 would break one side of the orb and then break the other side. So you literally, all you have to do is wait for one side to break. This is like the most perfect setup of it. Wait for one side to break, take a trade targeting the opposite side. It was literally like clockwork. And then you go to Q4. That same year, it dropped to 50%.
Yeah.
And people don't believe me that the stats change.
I mean, once we come out with the screen in the next 7 minutes, then there won't be any arguments, right? So
I mean, dude, there's nothing to argue. Like it's like people just want to be right. I'm like, I don't care to be right. I don't want to be right about like what I think is going to happen. Like I'm going based off the data. It's the only way to do it. Like I don't care to be right at all.
Yeah, make money.
Yeah.
So NQ's now has wicked that daily VWAP at the moment, but we're still under the New York session VWAP. ES is bouncing quite hard. What? I look at taking along. We'll see.
Dude, I want this range here. Watch me just take this short and get absolutely run over.
The video is trying to pick up.
This would be ideal. So there's not much in play right now. In the next 5 minutes, there will be, but in play, NQ still targeting either previous day's high or previous day's low. These two red lines here, that's the inside bars. That's these two here. ES, gap fill by weekday. You still got some move to the downside. So Fridays do tend to fill the gap. I'm not super sure about it today, but yeah. In the next 4 minutes, we're going to get a lot more in here. Oh, dude. I just like want to take an entry now and leave it and just have a wider stop and just like kind of let it run, but I'm not going to do that. Why is André so naggy? Today, these are the worst type of days. So what just so you know, so I'll explain this a little bit here. What I was saying before, if you can go back. What I was saying was I would love to get a retest to the midpoint of the orb at the time. I'll put the VWAP suite on. At the time, VWAP is right there as well. I don't use VWAP. If you scroll back, you'll see kind of the logic that I was saying was a bounce back to the orb, looking for to the midpoint of the orb, looking for a move down, and it literally just like wicked perfectly, then hit the target. And pretty much I've just missed a lot of solid trades that I wanted to take. So for me, that's what like bothers me the most when it comes to trading is when I have something that I want to take and I don't get it the way that I want it. That's where for me it's not.
Yeah. I just took a long on the NASDAQ. I'm gonna stop on the opening range though. I'm gonna try to target the house.
Also, I didn't watch the China race yet. I see a comment here about the China race. James, did you watch the sprint qualifying?
No, not yet.
I haven't watched it either.
Yeah, I'm trying along on the NASDAQ here off of the daily view app. It still is on a New York session view app. Yeah, let's go like that. So I'm trying along here. We'll see what happens. We are pretty wicky here, but I got stopped underneath these lows. So if we do want to come lower, then I'll cut. Interested to see what the bias will be in the next, or we'll have to wait for about 2-3 minutes afterwards as well. Ideally, I would like it to get a, say again?
Where are you targeting?
Opening range high. So I got my stop under the lows targeting opening range high. Yep. So we'll be up at 771. I mean, that's these ranges recently have been pretty big.
Yeah.
But simple, we making higher lows here. We got a base. I got like this level that we're forming at 630 and targeting the highs. So opening range high where we broke and pulled back from. I don't know if I was actually stopped yet on my algo. I'll check at the end of the session.
Yeah, dude, you're I would have been stopped for sure.
Yeah, I always make it so my stops the other side of the range.
Yeah.
Got YM also picking up a little bit off of the daily view app, so YM as well. I actually had a trade the previous week on YM where we did the exact this. We were bullish pre-market, we pulled back to the daily view app, and then we got long. So I like it where we're sitting at the moment. And I've got to back my read of the market. I know André likes the shorts. James in a secret long. No, I told you I'm long.
Yeah, I would like a move up to the 700, 720s.
James in a secret long. I told you I'm long. Yeah. There you go. So I like this now. If we can get now above the New York session VWAP, this would validate my trade even more.
That New York session VWAP is like the area where I want to get short.
There we go. So my next, as I said, what I would like next is above that New York session VWAP. If we get above that close strong, then I'll look to close out.
Wow, Meta is pushing hard right now. Meta is well into
there we go.
high of day.
So I added a little piece because I got wicked a little bit on that. I added back in. I added to my piece here. Just to full size. I was in smaller. So I got wicked a little bit on that. You see on the 5 minutes, Andre, I entered and then it had that wick. So I got filled at a bad price. But now this is looking good. So now we've taken New York session VWAP. My next target now would be to opening range high, which would be 770.
I'm still waiting right now. I want to get a little confirmation on this. If there's going to be a reversal or if it's just going to keep ripping.
Secret long. Yeah. Wimes now also back above. Look at that. I had a trade like this. I think it was last week also as well, where we take out the lows, but we bullish. I'm bullish on the day, and we end up bouncing off of that daily VWAP.
I'm considering.
Yeah, I'm using a copy trader. The link is in my bio on socials, the one I use. It's for CFD. You can use the TraderVate accounts as well, I think, but yeah. What are your thoughts on this, Andre?
One sec.
We do have.
I just tried the short on ES. I was actually going to take it on NQ.
On ES, yeah.
67.14.
We do have the screener setting up at the moment. It still needs to obviously have the RB in that break, but let's let it load. We're a little bit favoring the longs a little bit more than the shorts. Most of the Mag 7 stocks here are bullish. Microsoft, Meta, QQQ actually bullish in the first, as well as NQ and YM and ES, all bullish in the first hour.
I'm targeting the orb low, by the way. Or sorry, I'm targeting 6,700.
Yeah, we're getting a wick now on that too, on NQ at least.
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to move my stop. It's probably pretty early, but
you got a nice price, bro.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah, right here. My stop is at break even. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to let it run for 6,700, and that would be a 14-point winner if it hits. If not, my stop is at break even right now if we get a bounce, but I'm going to let this go to 67. Sure. Specifically, my target is 6,725 cents, so it's not exactly. I always like to put it like 1 or 2 ticks before, but and I was going to take NQ, but there's We're about to get that TP.
Yeah, we're actually coming down right now. I'm gonna see what we do here.
My stop is now at 67.08. I'm a couple points. I'm literally 1 point away from my target, so I'm not taking this off it. I actually just moved my stop to 04 and my target to closer to low of day down here. So I'm trailing my stop now at 67.04 and my target is, my stop is now at 67.03. I'm gonna put it to 02, and if this falls, I'll take that, but otherwise.
Have you closed some profit?
Yep, I'm out.
That's okay, nice. I like it. I'm still in. You trade with
that was from 14.75 to 01.75.
Nice.
And my original stop was here. And now I close my account.
Yeah, if we take daily VWAP here for my trade, I'll cut.
Yeah, so this was what I was looking for. The move to 720, the move to 720. What I was saying, or what I thought was going to happen was everyone is getting short here. Push up, get up, torch. Everyone gets torched on the shorts. And I would like to get short somewhere over here for the move back down. I was going to take it on NQ, but ES actually was stronger, even though the stop was not. I like the structure more on NQ than I did on ES, but ES was weaker. And I am thrilled that I closed because I would have given back half my profits. So my broker is closed now, and I am done.
Brilliant.
And I am going to get another coffee.
Nice. There you go. You're quick with it. Okay, so we'll bring up my charts here. There you go. So I'm still long here. As long as we hold this daily VWAP, I still like the longs. So daily VWAP is the black one, and the opening range low is down here. So I'd definitely trade with wider stops compared to André. Look at the time when I told you. Yeah, so I looked from 9 to 10, Mark. I looked at from 9 to 10. So Bruce, you essentially have 3 VWAPs. Yeah, daily VWAP, session VWAP, daily and weekly, correct? Yep. So as long as we hold above that daily, I'm still gonna stay in my trade. We're still holding up here, so yeah, Mark. Yeah, I looked at that from 9 to 10. Can you send me a screenshot? Can you send a screenshot in the chat or link to it or anything like that? Then I can check what your settings are and help you out. But yeah, I looked at it. It's in the 70s, 80%. I've seen it on that for the opening candle continuation quite consistently, actually.
I would say don't send the screenshot to James. Send it to our support on the app.
Send it to
the support, don't send it to James. Send it to the support so we can actually help you from there.
I wanted to look at it now on stream, but you can send it to the support as well.
No, sure. Yeah, I mean you can show it to James, but
yeah,
if you want a real solution,
correct,
our support team is going to help you, not James.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that he can't, but like we want to be able to track it. We want to be able to make sure that we're following up and everything else. Like there's a whole process for support. Like James is not our support team.
I'm not support. I'm stream.
Exactly.
100%.
I left my coffee.
Dude, I don't like how we're bouncing around here. So if we take out the daily view app, I definitely will be closing. Yeah, like this, yeah. Okay, so the algo actually took the loss. But we'll see what happens at this area here. CES doing. CES under opening range low. Okay, I'm going to close my NASDAQ longs. I'll look for re-entry. I haven't taken out opening range low yet, but I'm going to get out of this. I don't like it. Yeah, I'll close that for loss. I don't like how it's getting underneath the daily VWAP now. So yeah, I'd like a bounce, yeah, but I don't want to take full stop on it.
Steve, great trade. Beautiful. Thrilled about that. Yeah, to me, the shorts, I didn't really see the longs, honestly, but when you're trading with someone else, like it is very difficult actually, which I've never done before, is trading with someone else. And then like now they're like, James is a fantastic trader. So when he's like, I'm taking a long, I'm like, maybe I'm doing something right. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it's always like that. Yeah. That was me
like
that was me on Wednesday with Zinc. He was taking a short. I was like, shit, I'm taking a long. I don't know what I want to do yet.
Yeah. And you ended up winning on that trade. Like,
yeah. Well, I took a loss first and then ended up one. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's tough sometimes to be like, am I being biased? Like, am I coming into the markets with a certain idea or whatever else? Like, wow, we are getting a strong sell-off here. I'm still not mad that I closed. It's just a little bit more of like a 13 point. Yeah, right here. I'm done for the day. 80 points profit. Thank you very much. Awesome.
Yeah, so inverse of Monday where I took the win and you took the loss. Now it's the inverse.
Yep. Yeah, I was pretty set on the shorts, to be honest. I really wanted it here. If you guys rewind the stream to 10:05 or 10:04, you'll see that this is the original trade that I wanted. But it was a 15-point trade, but I'm okay now because I took a 13-point winner after that, so I'm okay. Like I don't really mind.
I probably should have been a bit more aggressive. I was up like 25, almost 30 points on that. I should have been maybe more aggressive on profit taking, especially in this type of market.
Yeah. Yeah, 15 points, 13 points is definitely on the larger end of what I'm interested in, to be honest. But yeah, it's
yeah.
I'm okay if this continues to fall. I'm okay with it. If anyone is in a trade short and you want to hold on to runners, this red line here is your area to target. So this red line, previous day's low, is the inside bar stats, still the strongest stat across any report that's in play right now. Inside bars by weekday on NQ, which is saying that price is going to touch this red line right over here, or has touched the red line 88% of the time in the last 6 months. So there's been 16 days, 14 of them have broken out of Thursday's range. Only 2 of them did not. So for me, if you are short, your target on NQ for runners is going to be this red line at 24,542.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's somewhat interesting. I do have a high win rate. So this is one of them when I'm going to get wrong, you know, the 20% of the time that I will. That's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, I 100% think that oh, interesting. The low formed first on the IB today. And the first break was to the downside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wins all their trades. If anyone tells you that they win all their trades, they are lying, and you should avoid them. Honestly, there's more than enough free, good content that you can watch in the trading space for you to not believe someone that says that they win all their trades. So please, guys, just be mindful of that.
I was actually pretty small size on that too. I even put on my daily report card to start the day. I'm going to keep it small because I'm up quite nice this week. So I could find another trade rest of the stream or even late in the day as well, right? So
yeah,
keep yourself in the game. I think that's like my day win percentage is like 85%, 86% this year, André. But it's sometimes from like my first trade not getting married to the bias and then coming back and hitting a nice second trade, or third trade.
Yeah, dude. Whoa.
Yeah, we're flashing now. Jeez, look at that.
Yeah, NVIDIA's really rolling over. Tesla's at low of day. Apple at low of day. Broadcom low of day. Meta's finally rolling over. Who's the guy that sold the credit spreads? You. Great job.
Yeah.
That was higher risk than I would have taken, but great job on the credit spreads. So they're probably worth nothing now. I mean, probably close to nothing, depending on obviously the expiration. But yeah, great trade. If I was you, I would probably close it here. But again, you had a good entry, good strike selection. So if I was you, I would probably close it here. You're in a good spot. Also, that inside bars, guys, 88% on right over here. Yep, there you are, air attackers. You can leave it to expire. I typically don't like to do that. For anyone who sells options, I personally will always close at 70% profit or a ballpark of that. If you sell SPX options and you're looking to buy them back at a 5-cent credit or a debit, you have to think about who's on the other side of that trade. Like, are you actually going to get filled? Very unlikely that you will, unless you're already so directionally correct that like you might as well let it expire at that point. But on the days that you're wrong, on the days that you're up 95% on your trade and then it reverses against you, that extra 5 cents is not going to be worth it. So that's my logic. I mean, some days is more, some days is less, but 70% is always, for me, where I will take the trade.
André, I did something that I don't think many people should do, but I reversed my position as soon as I got out my shorts. About 2 candles later, I took the break of opening range low and got 50 points on that. So beautiful. I don't always recommend it, but while you're speaking, I have to, and I got that little bit of a flush. So yeah,
good, bro.
Well,
you got that previous day's low. That's
yeah, but I should have got out my longs a bit sooner and I would have maybe seen the short a little bit earlier. But that was a nasty wick on my long entry, and then as soon as it came back down, New York session view app, I should have closed.
Well, I mean, dude.
But anyway, I took the break off opening range low to the downside. Yeah.
So
like that. So I got out. Sorry, André. I got out of my long over here. I got out of my long on that candle, and then as soon as we break opening range low on this candle over there, I just took a quick short back down to the lows while André was chatting. So that's again like not marrying the bias. I don't recommend it for newer traders. I've been trading 9 years now, so I realized I was wrong, got out, and then flipped.
Yeah, so just so you guys know, this 88% stat here, 83% stat is saying that price should touch this red line. Now, granted, we were 3 points away on NQ, and now we're 50-something points away. But the data shows that the continuation is to the downside here. Or, sorry, not necessarily to the downside. It could technically break previous day's high, which would be over here, but honestly, extremely unlikely for it to make a 300-point move to the top side now. The target, if you want to take a rejection of the orb low, like pretty much what James just did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where you would put your stop because this type of structure is not really my favorite to put a stop. But the target is right over here. Personally, I always think you should front run these things because now, that's why I said before, my initial target was not at 700 exactly. It was at 700 and a few cents. Yes, we can. I see your comment. We can. You always want to front run a little bit just in case something like this happens. And then most people, realistically, will probably close somewhere here if price goes 3 points away from their stop and then bounces 50 points. Realistically, I probably would too. So that's why I always front run the levels just a little bit. Yes, I'm technically giving a little, I'm leaving a little bit on the table every time it happens, but realistically, if I was 3 points away from my target, now it bounces 50 points against me, I'm probably going to close. So that's why I front run this.
That's why also I do like to scalp, bro. Like, I realized I was wrong, got back in, and you find a nice winning trade, puts me up on the day now. So,
yep.
Yeah, we're not, we have been trading in a tight range as well, right? So, I wouldn't be surprised to see this bounce here either. We are at closing price. Actually, gap fill worked today, Andre.
Yeah, it's insane. I was not expecting, I mean, the data shows that it was not great. The gap fill by weekday is, where is it on ES? 75%. 75% gap fill by weekday, 16 gaps up on Fridays. 12 of them have filled. Not bad. But I mean, a 30-point move to the top side before the flush, you probably would have gotten stopped out here. You could have re-entered around here, but at that point, you're looking for a 60-point move to the downside. So that's a lot.
Yeah, yes, also just wicking a little bit here as well. Not as volatile as earlier in the week, that's for sure. How's the inside? Yeah. You won't trade rest of the day, Andre. You kind of done by like 11, yeah?
No. Yeah, I'm done.
What
are you thinking? Any new trades?
Dude, right now I think I should be green on the day quite nicely because I had a little bit of I played that momentum play quite nice with a little bit of extra side. So I'll probably call it here. We'll see what happens rest of the day. I might trade on one or two other accounts. But I'll be done on my main accounts for now. Yeah, we are, as I said, like we
Yep, there's that previous day's low, by the way.
Yeah, previous day's low, yeah. NVIDIA took a big dive. I mean, NVIDIA is almost at previous day's low as well.
Well, that inside bars should have held a little bit longer here, honestly, but it's not my trading style to hold for a 40-point move on ES.
Yeah, that's quite big. 40 points on ES.
No, I don't do that. I definitely don't do that. Wow. Is there a new catalyst? Like, is there any new news or anything?
Sort of financial news. Yeah, so this is yeah, I'm gonna end the day green. I probably will close it up here, Andre, but that's for today, right? $3,000. I think I was down like just over $1,000, so I made it back on that quick short.
Beautiful. Yeah, NVIDIA's really flushing. Meta's about to make new low of day. Apple's in low of day. Broadcom's really flushing hard. Tesla's flushing. So. Yeah. So the bias is really starting to build to the short side on whatever's left in play here. So the IB is short. The opening candle is actually long on NQ, but everything else that's in play right now is short bias. So if you are going to take any trades, I would leave it to the short side. I would not be the person to expect a break to the top now, like a V-shaped reversal, unless there's a catalyst. I mean, in this day and age, you don't know if there's ever going to be a catalyst that's going to reverse the market. So just be careful with that. And yeah, I mean, your targets are mostly taken, to be honest, now. Like, there's nothing really to force. I don't know why my trading view has been so slow recently.
I can't see any breaking news, by the way, Andre. Yeah, no breaking news.
It's just like some continued selling. But if you are going to target, if you are looking for a much larger move, which I think is not very realistic, but on NQ, that's going to be. I'll just show you here. That's going to be, or on ES, it's going to be, one sec. So it's that opening week range is the one that we're going to be looking at here. So ES is a lot closer, which makes it a little bit more viable, but it's still a very big move. To the downside, that's 22 points. On NQ, that's going to be 170 points. I'm not going to lie, I would be really surprised if this happens, because that would mean that the range would have to be almost 500 points, which is not very realistic. And then now there's a question here, what type of membership packages are there for Edgeful? There are 2 packages that you can get, and I will bring them up quickly. But so we have and we're redesigning this entire landing page, like the entire external page. So even looking at this right now, I hate it, but whatever. So we have the essential plan. That's $49 a month. It's literally everything as it relates to the platform. So you get all the videos, like all the tutorials, you get everything else. You get edgeful AI, you get the reports, you get it on all of the assets. You get like 150 reports. You get it on stocks, futures, crypto, Forex. You get the full date range of more than 5 years. You can actually go back further if you want to, but I don't really recommend it. This is just the furthest default that we have. You get all the sessions, you get custom sessions, you get customizations. Everything in here, including the 50 plus TradingView indicators, the ones that I'm using here, are included in the base plan. Pretty much the only difference from the essential to the algos plan is you get all of the algos, you get the automation for the algos, so you can actually connect your broker to NinjaTrader, Tradeovate, Project X, so you can use it with prop firms, you can use it with your personal capital. You get a private Discord chat that is for exclusively algo users. You get all the new algos that we release, and there's some other interesting things that we're going to be releasing in the future as well relating to this plan here. But you have the full feature breakdown. It's edgeful.com/pricing, or just go to edgeful.com and click on the pricing thing over here. You'll see exactly what the differences are. You can see we have the private community. You also get algo optimization calls with me if you're only on the all access plan, which is the algo plan, and you do not get access to any calls anymore with the base plan. So on that note, I hope you guys have a fantastic Friday, a fantastic weekend. Yep. We're going to wrap it up here. And yeah, I hope you guys took the shorts today. Air attack.
I got there in the end, Andre. I got there in the end.
Yeah. It's okay. I mean, it's you made it back, so that's the important piece. But
yeah. No, we'll see you guys Monday. Appreciate you guys being on, and yeah, always hope that you guys are learning from these streams.
Yeah.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, guys.
Cheers.